Matsalane Mamabolo, South Africa's most successful soccer writer.
You Pirates fans were looking for Rulani to come. You guys are unrealistic. Rulani Mokoena, Pirates.
3 times winner of Premiership Soccer Writer of the Year and 3 times winner of the Sports Writer of the Year. Every day he takes you inside SA Soccer, exclusive to omniaudio.africa. Weekdays, 9:30 a.m.
Omni Sports, break it down. Africa's premier sports destination.
Now, Mamelodi Sundowns are going to a Nigeria where they always struggle. Historically, Sundowns, they've never won a match in Nigeria. They are playing against Remo Stars. It's the first round though, and I think what Sundowns want to do is to at least get a draw there. And when you get a draw in continental football, you want a scoring draw just so that you have an away goal. Sundowns still will be favorites to win this. You'll remember they were finalists last year, shock losers to Pyramids. But I think this year Sundowns are, they're not as strong as they've generally been. But I believe they can get the better of Remo Stars. They should get something out there. And come the second leg, they will do that. Ahead of this match, Thapelo Morena, their right back, their utility player, spoke to the club's media officer. Just looking ahead to the match, you'll remember he was also part of the Bafana squad that won against Rwanda to qualify for the World Cup. So a lot of Sundowns players will go to that match, high spirits. Yeah, well, look, I think Sundowns are going to do well, but they are not the only representative of South Africa in the CAF Champions League. The Orlando Pirates, they too had a great season last time around, although they disappointingly failed to reach the final, losing to Pyramids, the Egyptian team that went on to be crowned champions. The Buccaneers are away to St. Eloi Lupopo of the DRC. It's a team that most South Africans will remember. They've been here before, years ago when we used to have the Vodacom Challenge. St. Eloi Lupopo came and played in the Vodacom Challenge. Now, the thing with the DRC is we generally always expect TP Mazembe or even Vita Club to be representing the DRC, but not this time around. It's Lupopo who are representing. They're going to Lubumbashi. It's a tough place. I've been there before. The crowd is always on top of you. They make life very difficult for the opposition. Then you've got the weather conditions, very hot, humid. But Pirates are experienced campaigners. I think the good thing is they will go into this match fresh from having helped Bafana do very well. Ozwe Napolis was the star when Bafana beat Rwanda. He scored, created both goals, so he's on high spirits. Sipho Mbule was the star as well. He played very well. You had Evidence Mahopa scoring for Bafana and Talente Mbata. So that's a great thing. Can Orlando Pirates win? I don't know. My producer Mdu is a huge Pirates fan. He was saying Pirates took us to the World Cup, but now they have to do it for themselves. And I don't know, Mdu, it's CAF Champions League. Pirates showed in the previous round, they played a small team from Lesotho and hammered them. And that's what you do. I always believe in these competitions. When you play a small team, smash them so that the next one that's coming up knows that you mean business. And I think Pirates should be favorites. I don't know what you make of that. Does Coach Owadu use all the players who were in the squad for Bafana, or is he going to rest them a little? The good thing for Pirates is that they'll have Mbegezeli Mbogazi playing because he had to just miss the national team matches. As a Pirates fan, do you think, based on what happened last year, do you think Pirates have what it takes to go all the way? I mean, they have to first start with this one, get into the group stage.
Projects, I think Orlando Pirates are now an experienced team where the CAF Champions League is concerned. They made it to the semi-finals last year and they lost to Pyramids. I think most of the players that play for the team now are the players that played in the CAF Champions League last year, and then some of them obviously playing for Bafana Bafana and representing at a national level. So I think for Coach Owari to win this one, it's important that he plays all the players that were at the Bafana Bafana camp. Those players are in high spirits, they are motivated, they know what it's like to compete at that level. I think they're at a point now where they can play with a million eyes watching them, so they can play. They're not afraid. We saw what a talent Dembata did. We saw how Oswin Apollos played. Evidence Mahoba, Kosnati CBC, how he played. Sabang Muremi, he was also in the squad. He played in the game against Zimbabwe. Might have not played against Rwanda, but the fact that he was also in the squad, that alone also makes him an important player for Orlando Pirates. And then you look in defense, we had Mbegezeli Mbogazi, although he got a red card, he comes back now. He has a lot to prove. He wants to prove to the nation, and he wants to prove to Orlando Pirates supporters that, look, I made a mistake. I'm human, but I'm still that guy. You also have the captain, Nkosinathi Sibisi, who played well. Against Rwanda. For me, he was a leader in that defense. He's the one that controlled that defense. Although it was a bit disappointing that he allowed for Mbegezeli Mbogazi to get to a point where he got that red card. His leadership could have prevented that from happening. But I believe he learned from that. They travel all the way to DRC Congo. I don't think there's any team in Africa right now that's a problem for South African teams, given how we've been performing. Bafana Bafana qualified for the World Cup using local based players. So Orlando Pirates are motivated for this one. I see Orlando Pirates winning this one. I don't even think they're gonna concede. Sipho Chain was also in the squad, so he's also another one that's motivated. So I think Orlando Pirates will win this one by 2-0.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think so. I think I agree with you in that sense that in terms of continental experience, we are not lacking. Our players are just so used to playing. Because you remember in the past, there used to be that whole thing that, oh, our boys are still fresh, they struggle with the treatment and all that. You are so right. We are fine. So I agree with you. I believe as well that both Sundowns and Pirates will get the kind of results that will see them being in the driving seat for the second leg, and then they will both qualify for the group stages, which is where the money is, which is where the real competition. If you say you are a top club on the continent and you don't make the next round you don't make it into the group stages, then that's a problem. Now let's shift our focus from the Champions League to the CAF Confederations Cup. Kaizer Chiefs are back in Africa. They too are playing in the DRC. They are, in the CAF Confederation Cup, as you said. You'll remember Chiefs snuck into this round. They played that team from Angola, won on penalties. How do you foresee them doing against AS Simba? They are also playing away. Kaizer Chiefs had just one Mduduzi Shabalala in the national team. He got a few minutes, which was good for him. Chiefs have not really... Okay, Fiagri Ntwari is part of the Chiefs team, but I think Chiefs going to this match, they will still stick with Brendan Peterson. How do you foresee Chiefs doing? First time back in African football in a long time, struggled through the first preliminary round. They are now in this one and they need to get into the group stages, but they are playing away to AS Simba. And there's this new dynamic as well. The Nabi is gone. Cedric Kazi and Ben Khalil Youssef are now the official coaches. Does that help? Does it settle Chiefs at least to say, at least we know these are the men in charge?
Projects, my concern about Kaizer Chiefs is their struggle in scoring goals. I don't think this season they've scored more than 2 goals in a game. So you look at how they're traveling all the way to Africa to play against an experienced Simba team that's competed at that level, I'd like to believe, in more occasions than Kaizer Chiefs. So it's really concerning that they don't know how to score goals. Yes, they have good strikers in Khanyisa Mayo and Flavio da Silva, but they still struggle to score goals. If they score 1 goal, if a team scores 2 goals, they struggle to come back. We've seen it also in the Betway Premiership, and we've seen it in a number of occasions where Kaizer Chiefs had to come back from behind to win a game. Once a team scores 2 goals before them, it's done. Kaizer Chiefs loses. If Kaizer Chiefs score first, they then struggle to defend their lead. It either ends a draw or they end up losing 2-1 because they struggle to score goals. I still don't think there's going to be any changes given the fact that Ben Yusuf Khalil and Kazi are the head coaches now. This is still the team that played under coach Nasruddin Nabi, that's failed to score goals under coach Nasruddin Nabi, and that failed to win important games. So nothing's changed. Still the same squad, still the same players. If now the players all of a sudden start to play well, then we can say that maybe the issue was the coach. But I don't think the issue was mainly on the coaching. I just don't think they have a squad good enough to compete at that level. Personally, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs is going to win. I see them go all the way to Simba and losing that one, and then coming back home, maybe winning by a goal to nil. But Simba will win on aggregate because Simba might then win 2-1 there. If they score an away goal, at least they stand a chance to advance. But you also see how they played against Kabuskop and how they won. They're not really a convincing team. They're going to leave it to penalties, or it's just going to be that 1-0 win. So I don't think they're going to do well this time. And if anything, Duduzi Shabalala can't take on the whole team alone. Yes, he was with Bafana, but he can't do everything alone. He is going to have a positive impact and influence on the team, but he can't do it all alone. But at least also they have Mfundo Vilakazi, who just comes from the Under-20 FIFA World Cup. Big question is, are they going to play him? Because he doesn't get enough game time at Kaizer Chiefs.
But I get you do, but Chiefs, you'll remember now, just this week, there's been the news that your Velebai and your Bartman have been cleared. Quite a few players, really. Kaizer Chiefs have signed. Kaizer Chiefs have a Lebohang Maboe, who has been with Mamelodi Sundowns, who's traveled the continent. That's some experience. And I think Chiefs, they've got Ethan Chislett. Chiefs have signed quite a few players that have not been used. Isn't this maybe perhaps the time for them to try those guys and see what they can do? Because as you say, who they've been having. I'm excited, though, that Chiefs are going to the DRC. Look, you speak of Chiefs not scoring, and that's true. But Lodi Lepo has shown himself to be quite a signing for Kaizer Chiefs. When he gets the opportunities, he can be very dangerous. He's going back home. He understands the conditions. He knows the place. Cedric Kaze comes from the DRC. There's that knowledge, surely. And yes, Simba have been around, but Simba are not a great team in the DRC. The fact that they're even in the Confederation Cup, I don't know. I seem to think if Chiefs just get their act together, they should. It's a tough game, I agree. But I believe Chiefs have the beating of Simba, whether away or at home. I think the key for them will be get a goal. You always want to score an away goal just to give yourself a chance. So don't you think the new players, your Lebohang Maboe, your Velebai, if Chiefs use them, it's a time for them to shine. You've always seen when a player is at a new club, he gives his all. Unlike these current guys who've been there, it's like, oh, we've been here, we've done this. And like you say, the struggles that Chiefs have had over the past few seasons, the new guys should surely inject some excitement into the team.
But Jakes, it would be exciting to see them play their new players. But however, remember, if a Lebohang Maboe plays, Velebai plays, that's practically their first game for the team. They still, for me personally, they still need to find a combination that works. The coaches still need to find a way to play these players. They need to find a combination that's going to work for these players. So I don't think at CAF level, it's always wise to test out your new players. Maybe in the PSL, you can test your new players. Maybe in the Nedbank Cup, in the Carling Knockout Cup. But at that level, it's always advisable to go with the squad that's played together for a long time, players that know each other already. I would honestly like to see Lebohang Maboe play because, as you mentioned, he's competed at that level with Mamelodi Sundowns. My only concern, though, is him being a new player at Kaizer Chiefs. Does he know how to play with Gaston Serino? Does he know how to play with Natim Tetwa? Does he know how to play with those players yet? Does Mfundo Vilakazi understand him as a player? Has he played with him at that level yet? I don't think so. So, Napra Jakes, I honestly don't think Chiefs is going to do well.
Is it? Okay, let's see. We'll revisit this.
And also, as their rival, I'm hoping they don't do well.
Yeah, no, come on. This is you see that this is one of the things I don't get about you South African football fans. Listen, Chiefs are representing South Africa. Yes, you love your Pirates, but come on, it has to be. Let's get all our South African teams doing well. We have to back them. And besides, they're in different competitions. Chiefs are playing in the Confederations Cup. You guys as Pirates are. Yeah. Listen, maybe it's because I'm not a fan. I'm a neutral, and I just want our teams to do well. Now, Chiefs are not the only one in the what's this Confederations Cup. We've got Stellenbosch FC made us all very proud last year. First timers in the Confederations Cup. Steve Barker and the boys go all the way to the semi-finals. This year they are having it so bad. They are, I think, 13th on the table. They just cannot seem to win matches. And I've been saying the lack of a prolific striker. They just don't have. They keep losing players, but for the first time, they seem to not have a replacement for somebody to find the goals for them. They are going to Equatorial Guinea, 14th de Agosto. It's not a great team that they are playing, but we know how difficult it can be to go into Central and West Africa to play. How do your view? I mean, I know Steve Barker is experienced. He's been there before. Can they also make it to the group stages, or are we also facing a situation like where you're thinking Chiefs will not make it and Stellis as well?
I think Stellenbosch, number one, we need to give big credit to Coach Stuart Baxter for what he's done at the team. Also, Steve Barker, my mistake. We need to give credit to Coach Steve Barker for what he's achieved at the team and all the players that he's groomed and developed for the PSL. He's given us amazing talent, and these are players that are exciting to watch. But it seems this season he's finally run out. It seems this season it's like he's lost enough players. He doesn't have any more players to replace all the good players that he keeps on losing. But I don't see why they cannot win in Equatorial Guinea. Stellenbosch still is a very strong team. Steve Barker knows what he's doing, and I believe, I mean, the experience that he has from last year, he still has Devin Titus, he still has Ashley Cupido, he still has De Jong, he still has Mtiane, and he also has Thabo Isani. So I believe that's enough talent to at least get him a goal or a 1-0 victory and then come wrap it up back at home. I really hope they do win. I feel Steve Barker deserves a lot. I mean, given everything that he's done for the PSL and everything that he's done for South African football at large and all the players that he's introduced us to, it's really concerning because we consider East Stellenbosch the fourth big team now in SA ever since we've lost SuperSport United. So it's Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, then Stellenbosch FC. Those are the four big teams that we have. Those are the four big teams that are also representing continentally. So I'd like to see them win, and it would be nice to see another South African team win and continue all the way. I believe South African football has grown so much that we're at a level now where every team from Africa, when they have to play a team from South Africa, they are always worried. They always prepare better, and they always go all out when they play against all our teams. So Steve Barker, all he needs to do is just make sure he uses the right combinations, uses the right players. Talk about technical variation. So he must use use the right players. I believe they'll win.
Yeah, as our learned friends love to say, the technical variations must be right. Look, I think so. Hey, I believe I'm putting my neck on the line and I'm saying all four of our teams will make it into the group stages. I know you don't have a lot of faith in Kaizer Chiefs, but I think it is. And I mean, you're saying that it's such a beautiful time to be a South African football fan with Bafana qualifying for the World Cup. You've just had the under-20s coming back. And now there's this announcement that SAFA made this morning that they've signed a deal now with Adidas coming back. Remember, they were wearing Le Coq Sportif just recently. That contract is over. Now Adidas are coming back. You know, it's a big brand, big football brand. We've worn Adidas over the years. There's this whole excitement, all national teams. It's a good time to be a South African football fan, and how better than for all of us to celebrate this victory of qualifying for the World Cup by seeing all our four clubs winning this weekend to set themselves up for progression into the group stages of the continental competitions. Just lastly though, can we win any of these ones? Sundowns and Pirates are our biggest hopes. Of course, Stellis having reached the semi-final gave us hope. But especially Sundowns. Are they in a position to can go all the way based on what you are seeing here at home?
Ish, Prajakes, as I like to say, my favorite saying, good players and a bad coach don't mix. Unfortunately, Mamelodi Sundowns have the depth. They have all the good players, but they just don't have a good coach. So personally, I don't think Miguel Cardoso is going to achieve anything with their team. I don't even see them making it to the semifinals of the CAF Champions League this season with Miguel Cardoso as their head coach, because clearly he's struggling at Sundowns. He doesn't understand the team's philosophy and the team's style of play. He's really struggling. And I don't understand how you struggle with so much talent at your grasp. Like, it's just, he just doesn't know how to use the players. So I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns are going to go any far in the CAF Champions League this season. They come across as a team that's easy to play against and a team that's easy to beat. You look at a team like Stellenbosch, they made it to the semifinals last season, but they've also been lacking in terms of performance. So I don't know how far they could make it. It would honestly be nice to see, as much as they are our biggest rivals, Kaizer Chiefs, it would be nice to see Kaizer Chiefs make it all the way to the finals. And I believe once their new signings have found their feet and the coach knows which combinations to use for the team, I believe Kaizer Chiefs could be they could be the one team to look out for, because Lebogang Maboe knows how to score goals. Velebai proved that he knows how to score goals. Bartman is also a good player. Plus, they have Kangisa Mayo up front, who's also played at that level and understands the pressure and knows what it's like to play there. Dustin Sereno also, once he picks up his form, Kaizer Chiefs could be like a force to be reckoned with. You look at someone like Mfundo Vilakazi, played the AFCON for the under-20s. Now he's went to the World Cup. Mtutuzi Shabalala has played for Bafana Bafana. He also understands what it's like to play at that level, and he has a point to prove. I think since Bafana Bafana have qualified for both the AFCON and the FIFA World Cup, every player is going to give it their all, because every player would like to play at that level, because that's the best level for you to be scouted abroad by actual teams, you know? So I think everyone's going to up their game. They're going to pull up their socks. Tebogo Mokoena is going to be much more aggressive this time. He's going to play with more passion because he wants to go to the World Cup. Ronan Williams is going to up his game in the goalposts because he wants to go to the World Cup. Mduduzi Shabalala is another one to look out for, because he's tasted what it's like to represent and play for Bafana Bafana at that level. So he'd want to be featured in the squad consistently. And the only way for that to happen is that he improves. Mfundo Vilakazi, he's also played abroad now, and he knows what it's like to play at that level. He's gonna want to raise his hand to say that Coach Bruce, you can also consider me. Don't play me. Just put me on the bench and let me gain that experience. And the only way for that to happen is to play well in the CAF competitions, because I think that's where Coach Hugo Bros is going to see his players. You playing in CAF, it means you can play in AFCON. You win in CAF, it means you can win in AFCON. You score goals in CAF, it means you can score goals in the AFCON. It's nice that now they get to play with teams from the DRC Congo, because if you get called up for Bafana Bafana to play in the AFCON, you know what it's like to play in Africa in like humid conditions, to travel all the way there. That alone, now you know what it's like, because we had the Sfisomian and Tusopala saying that what these teams in Africa do smart is whenever they're playing teams from the southern hemisphere, they make sure that your travel all the way to where they're based is a very horrifying one. And by the time you have to play, you're jet lagged. Now, you know, so Bomfundo Villagas are going to have that experience. They know now that, okay, cool, you can't do that to us. We'll still be able to play, even if you try to challenge us mentally. So I'd like to see all teams go far, but I'm counting on Kaizer Chiefs in the CAF. I hate to say this, in the CAF Confederations Cup, I'm counting more on Kaizer Chiefs, because I feel like they have players who could potentially represent at national level. And then Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, Stellenbosch just are not convincing, unfortunately, this season.
Yeah. Look, I think you make a very good point about it's almost like the next few months are going to be an audition for every player in South Africa, because as you say, we've got huge tournaments coming up. We've qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. Everybody wants to see themselves there. Then there's the World Cup. So you are going to have to find every player playing beyond themselves, because Coach Hugo Bruce is looking, the AFCON is coming up. And you know, if you get into the AFCON, the opportunity of then you making it to the World Cup is there. I'm looking at Jaden Adams at Sundowns, all your players who were in the squad and are out. I mean, I was speaking to Chofa Jumabaso the other day. He wants to go to the World Cup. He wants to go to the Nations Cup. So there's going to be just so much motivation for every player. And yeah, that's exciting. I mean, even in the league, I foresee all that happening, we've got the league. There's a few matches taking place this weekend. I know Magesi are hosting TS Galaxy, and then just thereafter we are going to have the Carling knockout next round. Everybody is going to be, so it's yeah, we are in for exciting times, and yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, you made a U-turn of sorts though just now, because initially you were speaking about Chiefs not having a chance, and now you are saying they are your big hope. Make a stand. Is it Chiefs going to the next round, or is it you wish they do but you believe they won't, or what are you saying?
Projects, I'd like for them to make it to the next round. Because they'll make it interesting. Kaizer Chiefs has the biggest following in the country, so if they make it to the next round, Africans get to see how much we support our football. They'll get to play in a stadium that's fully packed with supporters when Kaizer Chiefs make it that far. But like I said, my only concern leading into the game that they're going to play this weekend is the fact that Lebogang Mabo and all these other new signings still have to find their place in the team. So it's difficult for the team, for the players to gel, whereas these ones, it's going to be their first game. And if the coach doesn't play them and he depends, or both coaches depend on the squad that they've used, then they're not going to score goals. So that's where I stand with this team, Pratex. But obviously, because we are rivals, I'd like for them to lose. But also, I'm here. I'm in two sides, Pratex. I'd like
Yeah,
for
I
them to
get
lose,
you.
but it would also be exciting to see them make it all the way to the finals.
Okay, now I get you. Listen, let's see how it goes. It's a big weekend. Unfortunately, I saw somewhere that the Chiefs match might not be televised, so we will just have to follow social media, because that's where we check our results and all that. But yeah, I wishing all the South African teams all the best. I hope they all win their first leg matches. They're all away, and then the next week we'll be at home. So yeah, that's Inside SA Soccer with me, Brother Jakes, and our producer Mdu. Let's speak again on Monday when we review all these matches that we have just previewed for you. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. And yeah, Mdu, thank you so much for helping me with the show, Vandag.
Thanks, Pratex.